Hey, you guys, I have a treat for you. The next 3 podcasts that I'm going to do, which are going to come a couple days apart, but make sure that you activate notifications so you don't miss this, are going to be full masterclasses from my inner circle. Now, hold up. If you're an inner circle member, you know there's over 700 hours of training in there, and we only charge $27. So I thought, in the spirit of giving back, especially since so many people are having to create their own business, they're not interested in being mandated how they can live their life or run their health or handle their body. I thought this would be a great way for me to kind of tithe back to you 3 full masterclasses, which is going to be about 5 or 6 hours over the total of the next 3 podcasts that you can use in your business immediately. So grab a pen and paper. Today, I'm going to teach you how I made 6 figures and using all the little hard work, but dirty secrets on how you can actually propel yourself forward quickly and not have to keep getting stuck. This is the kind of thing that you typically only hear in a mastermind with a bunch of multimillionaires and 6-figure earners talking together, but it's my pleasure to give it to you. And remember, like I said, the next 3 podcasts are going to be full masterclasses. So make sure that you turned on notifications. You don't want to miss it. Let's go. You know, I never imagined that God would take every single one of the challenges and oppositions and other things that I have dealt with in my life and use them as a way to challenge other people's excuses. See, on my side of walking this testimony out and still walking it out, I guess you could say my number one thing that if I were to tell you 27 years ago when I got into business, I would observe the last 27 years and realize it was this one thing that made all the difference. I'm going to start out today with that one thing. So, as I look over the last 27 years, built my very first kitchenware business, went to $1 million by my second year, $4 million by my third year, without a mentor, without videos, without social media. And I look through the years of challenges and being given a year to live more than one time and peeling my way out of trauma and not even realizing I had trauma to peel my way out of. Because I thought, you know, Jesus rose from the dead and everything's past. So everything I went through must be gone, right? That's going to be in my upcoming book. And I think about my huge successes, you know, obviously online and on social media, we talk about our successes. People want social proof. Well, I've built 17 multi-million-dollar companies, and I have lost millions of dollars as well. I have had insane success that many times doesn't add up. And I have had horrific loss that I definitely didn't think I deserved. And I have seen things happen in my life that I wasn't quite sure it was all going to add up for success for me, and it did. And I have seen things happen in my life that I could have just knew it was going to work out, and it didn't. But all of that adds up today to what I get to impart to you. And yes, I'm going to show you the 9 income streams that I currently have. I'm going to show you how to make 6 figures this year. Some of you might not make 6 figures. You might make $1,500 a month, but $1,500 a month more than you're making right now without working 40 hours a week should change many of your lives. I'm going to also talk to you about the down and dirty hard stuff that's typically only talked about at multi-millionaire masterminds that most trainers would never tell you because they fear you're going to quit, you're going to Ask for a refund or you're not going to do it. Well, I don't chase fantasies and I don't teach lies and I don't make things easy that are hard as hell. And I actually will lessen your learning curve and make things a lot easier for you because of what I've been through. But if you take away anything from this 3 hours we're going to spend together, and I will give you a 15-minute break in the middle to grab a snack, go to the bathroom, give your family a hug and a kiss and pop back on. If you take away anything from this 3-hour class, I want you to know this. There is one thing about me that sets me apart, and it's not because I'm a unicorn. It is because I refuse to quit. I refuse to quit. Most of you, if not all of you, 99% of you would have quit if you had to live the life I did. So when you look at me, life has never been easy. However, because I was unwilling to quit, I not only earned the right to say certain things that some people have no right saying, but because I refused to quit, I also now know what's important and what's necessary and what actually works for the average person. I am not the kind of mentor who's looking to help people who are super, super good at what they do break through to their 10X, although I know I could do that. And I get an opportunity every now and then to help people like that. But I'm the mentor who helps everyday moms and dads, everyday grandmas and grandpas, college students, high school students, middle-aged people. Everyday people have extraordinary results in the things that they want to do. And what I'm about to share with you originally was being planned as a 2-day, $10,000 event. So you can do me a favor. The way you can pay me back, if you will, is don't take it for granted. It is going to be recorded. So if I fly by a topic that all of a sudden your brain goes, what about, just know it's recorded. And you can weave your way through those things with the recording. The way I personally learn is if I was coming into a masterclass like this, I would watch it and listen a minimum of 10 times. That is what sets me apart from 1/10 of you, because the majority, 90% of you are going to only listen to it once and try to pull one thing from it. So if you want to be more like me, and again, I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be who you're supposed to be. But if you want to learn like I do, I would never come to a class like this and only listen once. We are going to do a 2-hour bonus Q&A on Monday. And a lot of what I am going to share with you today, you are going to discover that what you currently believe or know about business, about wealth, about money, about finances, it could be wrong. So let's jump in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pray, and I'm going to pray that God comes where you are, and he takes what I have and what I have fought for and what I have paid the price for, and he would give it to you freely. He would give you way more than you deserve. He would give you way more than you ever could earn. Like, check off the list, and now I get to have this. Why do I say that? Because that's what the story of my life is. My life is not like I earned all this and I deserve all this, but this one thing I do know, I refuse to quit. And this one thing I do know as well, I believe God. I believe God before any man, any woman, anything. I will believe God. I will not listen to a marketing expert before I believe God. I will not listen to anyone before I believe God. And anybody and anything that attempts to get in the middle of me obeying God is eliminated. That is one of my secret weapons. So God, I pray right now through the apostolic authority that you invested into me, that you would come through the digital airways right now. You would make this Zoom meeting a secure place. Every demon, all the witchcraft, all the lies, all the religion is gone now in Jesus' name and falls to the ground, never to bear any more fruit on my territory again. I pray, Father, that you would touch these people. You knew the dreams that you knit inside of them when they were knit in their mother's womb. And I pray that they would not miscarry or abort those destinies. I pray in the name of Jesus, and I pull down from heaven everything they need, whether it comes out of my mouth or it's in our archive or our vault. That doesn't matter to me because I know what the equation is in heaven. And all things work together for the good that you call. And I ask you, God, to give these people more than I could ever give them. And I pray that you would activate this area, activate me, activate them, and help us, God, to make a difference. Help us to make more money so we can help more people. Help us, Father, to prosper in our soul, prosper in our mind, and make you famous with the results. Amen. All right. At a time that you do not know, I am going to pick 4 people, and you are going to be on a private Zoom with me in April. So no questions until Monday next week. The reason I do that is because I run my class like a college level class. Every time you have to ask me a question, I have to stop my flow. I have to come up with the answer, which is somewhere in the recesses of my mind. And it changes everything for all of us. So just trust the process. Trust me. I've done this with 250,000 people. I do know what it takes to be successful. I've proven it. I'm still doing it today. And I'm not reaping the royals of last year's success. I'm still working harder than I would ever expect any of you. That is another thing that sets me apart. So 7 income streams I'm going to talk about today, but you will discover at the end of this webinar that there's probably about 20 that you could tap into. The different ones that I'm picking will actually lead you to other things. I'm going to give you an overview of these different things. And the one thing I want to say to you is this. Many of you have been in my classes before and heard me talk about, I don't recommend you start something else until you've had success here. I still hold to that. What I'm about to teach you doesn't mean you're going to start 11 websites, 23 social media profiles, 17 podcasts, and hope something pops. That is a great way to go insane and to lose everything in your life that matters. But I am going to teach you how to make money with some things that you can set it and forget it. And when I say set it and forget it, I don't mean chasing a fantasy. I mean, if you have to check it an hour a day, a half hour a day, that's way more than clocking into a regular job. What I'm about to teach you is not easier than being an employee where they basically tell you what to do. This is going to require for you to think. As a matter of fact, a little later, I'm going to talk to you about the reasons that people fail in business. One of the reasons is you bring traditional education systems as well as an employee mindset into a business, and you will fail. So it's going to be time for you to think differently. As we move forward, I'm going to talk to you about, write down on your paper, number 1, being an affiliate. Being an affiliate at some of your favorite places can bring in some recurring income, can bring in some regular income. I personally make a minimum of $3,000-$4,000 a month on affiliate offers that very few of you even know are running when you follow me on social media. Number 2, stocks and crypto. This is a biggie because this is one of the things that you can become a part of with just $100. You can take $100, $1,000, $10,000. What I'm going to share with you, you can actually apply. Now, what's interesting is this. There is an inherent risk in anything that I'm going to teach you. That's normal. That comes with business. There's even risk when you work for an employer because you're basically parking. A lot of people say, well, I don't want to build another man's dream. Well, I'll tell you what, until you learn how to build another man's dream with humility, you honestly, in my book, are not going to learn how to build your own dream. So it might be a good time to ask God to forgive you for saying, I'm not building his dream, I'm building my own. If that person built their dream and gave you a paycheck, that's called profit sharing. They shared with you what they could have cut for themselves. So be grateful and leave respectfully if you need to. But one of the things I'm going to share with you is that in order to be successful, you're not only going to have to do things differently, but you're going to have to pay attention to what you're really good at and what you suck at. And we don't make money at what we suck at. The neat thing about stocks and crypto is that you're putting some of your money into a pool, if you will, to benefit from other people's successes. And I'll talk about that a little bit more moving forward. In my opinion, I've been online for 27 years having success. I made my first million by the end of my second year online, made 30,000 my first year. There's never been a better time for you to be involved in different kind of stocks and tradings. And if you have a belief that you can't get into stocks unless you already have a ton of money, we just eradicated that belief already. The third thing I'm going to talk to you about are digital products, how to use pre-recorded products, videos, ebooks, audios, and how you can make a lot of money doing that. And some of you are going to be shocked at what people will pay you for. Number 4, self-published books. Because in all my years of mentoring entrepreneurs since 2008, the majority of them have some sort of book that they are birthing, some sort of process, some sort of journey, some sort of thing they overcame that they can actually add value to someone else. When I was building my kitchenware business, I actually published a cookbook that actually tripled my sales in the kitchenware business because I published the cookbook. So don't dismiss quickly books. And I'm going to show you why I do not recommend you partner with a publisher. Number 5, we're going to talk about live conferences, live classes, webinars like this. And you will be surprised at how many people actually do this. And it's in industries you would never have expected. One of the cool things that this pandemic did is this. It actually brought a lot of things online that a lot of people were super comfy with in a brick and mortar, at an event space, at a hotel with a whole lot of hoopla. Now you can do it online. Memberships is number 6. I'm going to show you how a lot of what I'm teaching can actually be put into even a membership. Memberships are not just business memberships. There's a guy who comes to my house like once a month and details both of my cars, my Porsche and my G-Wagon. Interestingly enough, I'm always asking him, why do you not have your clients on a membership? And he looks at me and he looks like he's not quite sure why he doesn't, but he's also not quite sure what I'm talking about. Memberships are not just for business. If he's already detailed my car more than twice, even if he does the first time, if he puts me on a recurring payment, a retainer, if you will, that comes out of my account regularly every month without him having to resell me. And with that payment comes a place where I can schedule my booking. He's going to get a huge increase because of the simple process of people want it. And they want it again, and they want it again. So stop asking me, just book me. Stop asking me, just book me. And that kind of income will keep coming in. I'm going to show you memberships. And lastly, physical products. Physical products are like ridiculous right now. Any of you who have cursed Amazon because you have lumped them into what people are calling the billion-dollar elites, that it's not fair, let me challenge you with this. What has made Amazon massively successful is not Amazon, but it's Jeff Bezos' vision to put small business owners on his massive platform. You could actually put a product on Amazon and make an enormous amount of money. This is why I'm going to challenge you. Everywhere you judge someone who's wealthy, you cut off the ability to make some money in your own life. I didn't say you couldn't keep making money, and I didn't say you couldn't keep being successful. Don't think as well that I think that some of the elites need to be taken out and some of it is demonic. But this is what I'm talking about. I wish I had built a platform like Amazon, so the hundreds of thousands of small business owners that I know were selling their goods on that platform, because it's been spoken over me 17 times that 17 prophetic words that I would be stewarding $1 billion. So I'm extremely careful judging another person's ability to make money. Aside from human traffickers, I don't do. As a matter of fact, a lot of the talent in prison, it just has the wrong product. They have brilliant talent, but grew up in the wrong area, on the wrong whatever, with the wrong influences, and didn't have somebody helping their mind. There are some brilliant business people, unfortunately, selling drugs in prisons, that if they were to have a product with some of the resources I'm going to give you, and I know a lot of different prison ministries and different places like that that actually go in and help people like that, they could have a great business. So be careful who you're judging. I had somebody say to me the other day, the people on your Facebook page, Sandi, actually pay your paycheck. And I was like, how do you figure? And he said, well, because you're an influencer. No, I'm not an influencer. I may be a thought leader. And I run a corporation and I have a business mind. But the influencer culture has prostituted business. I'm not saying it's all bad. There are some things we can learn from it. But I want to challenge you. Wherever you think something's super easy for someone else and it's super hard for you, there's some wrong belief you need to get rid of. And you have no idea what price somebody paid. I want to talk to you as well about sponsored content on social media, why market research you can actually be paid for. You could be a social media manager and be paid. People are paid as social media managers as providing service. So, for example, we have people who provide service for us, and they go and they answer questions on my page. People who create content, people who detail a schedule, look at all the data and manage that. So don't think that these income streams are all just business. Some of you are actually working for somebody else doing something, and you market research in your free time because you are a fact finder. God created you with a question mark in the middle of your forehead. You should be using that skill set to benefit someone else, and you could make six figures with it. You could do web work, IT work, websites, graphics, online, all different kinds of things like that. But I'm going to focus on the 7 that I said: affiliates, stocks and crypto, digital products, self-published books, live classes and webinars, memberships, and physical products. And I'm also going to tie in some of the different things that I actually use. Every single thing that I've said to you right here could actually make you money on a daily basis. This is one of the first things you've got to get out of your mindset. You've got to change the way you think. And let me say this as carefully and delicately as I can. You have to break out of the dollar per hour mindset. The way that you increase your business is to increase your value. Write that down. So the reason that I can charge $4,000 an hour to edit somebody's copy or write a sales page or whatever is because my value is 4,000 times more than a lot of people who do what I do. That's not to brag. That's to say I've paid my dues. A dollar per hour mindset actually locks you into thinking, and listen to me now, in order to double my income, I have to work more hours. No, you do not. No, you do not. Let me show you. I'm going to draw it on the board and then I'll be right back to explain. There's only 3 ways to grow any business at all. And my desire for you is that you would not only understand these 3 ways, but that you would start adding multiple streams of how this works for you. So can somebody type in there whether or not it's so weird? Zoom works in a mirror. So when I type it, it's backwards. Is it the right way for you, or do I need to click on Zoom's mirror thing? It's good. Okay, cool. Thank you. So any business, the way that you make more money is to get more people doing what you want them to do, whether you want them to buy your fitness program, you want them to buy your ebook, you want them to come into your inner circle, you want them to bite your affiliate offer. How does this work in stocks and crypto? Then that means I need to have more companies I invest in. The way to make stocks is exactly the same way. More front end. So maybe I'm going to get, rather than 2 stocks for $2 a share, I'm going to get 20 stocks for 10 cents a share. Or I'm going to get 25 stocks for under 10 cents a share, penny stocks, and play with that. No matter what business you're in, it doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if you're a dentist, a surgeon, anything. You've got to get more people on the front end. And this is where so many people miss it, because they have this belief that you need a brilliant system. Oh my gosh, when I made $1 million, my system sucked. My system was not anything like I do it now. So having a pretty website, having a beautifully color coordinated Instagram feed, having the brightest whatever, having the top keywords and hashtags, it doesn't mean anything if you're not getting new people. So no matter what you do, you always need new people. Always. The moment you stop getting new people, you start failing. The NFL has to get new people every year. If they didn't, we'd have a bunch of old men in walkers trying to flip a football around. That would be disgusting to watch. So every year they're looking for new talent. Every day you should be looking to tap into new people with one of the 7 things you're going to offer. And preferably all 7. Number 2 is to get a second glass, which means somebody who's done something with you to get them to do a second thing. So that means that if I have 10 shares in stocks, the way I make more money is to get 100 shares when I have enough money to do that. The way I get book sales to go up, obviously somebody bought a book, get them to buy the Kindle or Audible too. Somebody bought a book, get them to buy the accompanying worksheet. The faster you can get people to try a second item, and this model is absolutely ridiculously brilliant. And I learned the best way to do this. Let me see if I can find it on the book that I have from a long time ago. I think it's on Kindle. I'm going to give you a ton of resources. So rather than spending 2 long days and charging $10,000, so the majority of you could never come, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a ton of resources. 99% of the resources I'm going to give you are already in the vault. I'm going to direct you to the vault, and you're going to get some information out of the vault. Let me see if I can find this book. And I think you can only get it on Kindle. Oh, where is it? I'm going to have to look for it. It's actually, I'll write it down. It's a book on offers, and it shows you how Little Caesars doubled their profits by having you buy a pizza, you get another one for a penny. Any company that gets you to buy a second item has actually raised the stickability, if you will, of how you are as a customer. So you need to get more people every day, and you need to see how many of these people can actually buy a second thing or do a second amount of business with you. And then there's obviously high ticket. The reason high ticket is super risky is because it's only dealing with like 2% of who you could deal with. I've had high ticket masterminds through the years, anywhere from 20,000 to 100,000 a year. The majority of you wouldn't be ready, were unable to take that much money out of your budget and use it for a thing like that. And the majority of you wouldn't be able to comprehend that level. So that's only like a small 2% of what I would do. The majority of my profits are made on this. New people and a second glass. Here's something I want you to write down. I'm stepping into apps and software. I've been talking about this for the last couple of years, and I hope that it's an example to you that timing is everything. Sometimes you're going to get a brilliant God idea while you're doing 5 of the different things I'm going to teach you. And because of what you're reading on the internet and all the bullshit-taki that's out there and all the delusions and fantasies, you might be tempted to think you're a failure if you don't execute it immediately. Now, obviously, things succeed that we execute. And I do know that money loves speed. Execution and activation is the name of the game. But timing is everything. You're not a failure if one of the ideas that's being downloaded to you prophetically that you were dreaming about doesn't activate for 5 years. What I'm actually doing now, I've been working on for 10 years. Write this down. Apps, like through iTunes and the Google Store and all that. Hold on to the bottom of your seat. The top 200 apps last year made $82,000 per day. Yeah, that's what I thought. The top 800 apps made $3,500 per day. Over 62% of all traffic online to these apps and through social media and website is mobile. And apps are a $500 billion industry. Understanding what the billion-dollar industries are all over the world is an incredible study. For example, I didn't know this until I started studying who's using Zoom and how they're using it, that in China, they have a $200 billion industry using Zoom and streaming video. The farmers actually stream their crop, show their food, and people order online. Why aren't people in America doing this? Because that sounds silly. Because that's not how we've always done things. Because really, is that going to work? Those are the 3 things that people are going to say when you stumble upon a 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure, and beyond idea. So my goal here is to help you, number 1, to answer the question, how can I make recurring money? How can I make money that comes in every day that I don't actually have to work for every day? That's not free money. That's not dirty money. Dirty money is where you lie and prostitute yourself and manipulate and everything else. I'm not a part of that at all. I've never made money doing that. But money that you don't have to work for every day is money that you work for on the front end. So if you create a webinar, for example, or you create an ebook, or you create some kind of course that goes through an app, and it takes you 25 hours to do it, okay? Between videos and all this kind of stuff. Let's say it takes you $2,000 and 25 hours on the front end to do it. Think like a business owner. Even if those 25 hours takes you 4 months because you work a full-time job, so what? When you bring it to market, let's say you start making $50 a day. Then a couple of weeks later, you're making $100 a day. Then a couple of weeks later, you're making $150 a day. Now what your main thing with that product is to continue spending 80% of your time creating content and getting more what? New people. What most of you will do is get discouraged halfway in, give up on your dream, think this is too hard. You're going to get in an argument with your spouse that blows up your dreams. You're going to get mad at your kids. You're going to have a health challenge, whatever it is, and you're going to quit. But if you had just stuck your tent pegs in a little deeper, 25 hours, $2,000, who cares how long it takes you to get it done? It could start paying you daily. That is work that you don't have to do every day. That's how work that you don't have to do every day, and it's not a fantasy that people are selling, actually benefits you. The next thing I want to show you is how you can make money a few hours a day and how you can make money with your gifts and purpose. Some of you, the biggest thing that you're trying to do that is the reason why things are failing for you is you are trying to make money in something that was not aligned with you. How do I know this to be true? Because it's hard. It's not just hard. You're like hitting a wall. And I don't mean hitting a wall because of what's going on in your head. I don't mean hitting a wall because you're not willing to confront your beliefs. I'm talking hitting a wall because you don't have the skill set. I can code a website, but I've yet to make six figures coding websites, because when I code websites, all my writing and creative and wealth ability goes down the toilet. So I'm not trying to prove to anyone I can make seven figures doing websites, because I've done it 17 times over here. Make sure that what you're doing, you're aligned for. And I do believe that the Kolbe test, like I said, there's only going to be like one or two resources, and you don't have to take this to make money. But some of you who are interested in leading others, coaching others, writing a book, or you've made a little bit of money and you keep hitting the wall, go to this website. That's my affiliate link for the Kolbe test, arealchange.com/Kolbe, Kolbe. Take the Kolbe A test. If you were going to work with me one-on-one, I wouldn't even work with you unless you took it, because it's going to tell me what you're extraordinary at, even on a bad day. I could consult you on marketing, even if I'm in the hospital. And I have at times, because I don't know what it is. The nurses start sitting on the edge of my bed, and before you know it, I start helping them find their dreams. You want to make a lot of money in something. I always say that, like, you could do in a coma. That's going to show you what that is. It's driven by instinct, nothing more than your instinct. And then from there, we add our talent and gifts and all that. Now, my income streams, I posted on social media. You can see it there. Are stocks. I do day trading, and I do penny stocks, and I do long-term stocks, and I do options. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we go. I also have 3 or 4 different crypto investments that include Bitcoin and a couple more. I also have book sales that come in from the Kindle sales, book sales that come in the hardcover books, and book sales that come in from Audible. So I lumped that all into number 3. Inner Circle members. People only look at my inner circle and think that this is my income. This is one of 9. I remember when my inner circle had 10 members, and I didn't what? Give up. Video and ebook sales, affiliate offers, one-on-one consulting. I pretty much have retired from that. I only do that occasionally, and I have to hear from God that I'm supposed to be doing it. I'm also an investor in other people's businesses. So putting money into other people's businesses, and I don't mean buy stocks, and consulting them, and a percentage comes back to me, and then apps and software. And we're actually going into that even deeper. So what I want to teach you is how recurring, automatic, and membership payments can be your foundation. Now, some of you are already getting nervous. You're already getting irritated. You're already looking at the clock and wondering, when am I going to give you the goods? Well, first of all, this week, you're going to go back and listen to the recording, and you're going to hear something that I said in the last 35 minutes that's going to break everything. It's going to break through everything for you. Remember, he who chases fantasies finds poverty waiting for him, the Bible says. That means you are going to have people who cancel. That means you are going to have to always get new sales, but I'm going to teach you how to set things so that you are not always actively doing it. Systems are doing it. I'm actually going to show you how you could do $5 a day in ads. If that's all you've got, I know people who've made 6 figures by starting at $5 a day and then going to $10 a day and so forth. 80% of your business is going to be marketing it and creating content once we get things rolling. And obviously, I'm not marketing cryptocurrency. I'm not marketing stocks and all that. Although I am putting something in place where I'm going to spend 6 to 8 hours a month teaching a group about that. So keep prepared for that. We're not taking any questions today. We are doing the questions either at the end if I have any time, but most of the questions I'm going to do on Monday. Once your foundation's in place, a lot of what I'm going to tell you, you could do in 3 to 5 hours a day or less. Depends on how much money you want to make. So here's the uncomfortable part. You ready? Let me tell you why people do not succeed in business. This is super important. Super important. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to write some of this on the board and then talk to you. Until we get I've had all different kinds of mic systems. I love this one, and I love being able to go to my board and change the mic. So let me show you how we do that. Let me give you the top reasons why people fail. This is the stuff most people don't want to talk to you about. But I'm going to talk to you about it so you can stay away from it. Number one, an employee mindset. So a lot of you saw on my Facebook page and on Instagram, when I first started talking about this class, people were saying, that means you got to work 365 days a year. That means she's probably working 12 hours a day. That's an employee mindset. An employee mindset is going to be difficult to break. An employee mindset means somebody tells me what to do. If somebody doesn't tell me what to do, I can't do it. I just can't do anything. You have to break that. If someone doesn't tell you what to do, you have two options. Figure it out or find someone else to tell you how to do it. Most of what you are going to do in the entrepreneurial journey will require what I am going to call the straining zone. If you avoid these hard places because you hate confrontation, you hate when things get difficult, you hate finding out that you can't do something, you're never going to birth what your genius is, because in the midst of finding out what you're horrible at, you might find out what people will pay you 8 figures for. In order to confront where challenges are, you might be the person who comes up with a solution like I did. I came up with a solution on how to use WordPress, and people paid me $1 million in the first 6 months when I launched this company in 2008. So if you're avoiding the hard places, not all employees are like this, but a lot of them are, which is why as soon as the pandemic hit, most people with an employee mindset said, oh my God, where am I going to work? Rather than, oh my gosh, where is there a need that I could fill? Where is there a challenge that I could answer? Where is there a difficulty that I could show up for? Not, what am I going to do? But what can I do that I never could do before? That's the difference between an employee and an entrepreneur mindset. Now, the second thing, thinking business is easier. I touched on this initially, and some of you were already mad at me because you keep thinking, I want time freedom. That's why I want to run my own business, because I'm so sick and tired of how hard it is being gone all day. I agree. It is very difficult to have the kind of relationships, the depth of relationships that you want with the people you love, to pursue the things that matter to you, to grow yourself personally, physically, in all different ways. If you are locked into working 8 or 9 hours a day, it is very difficult. However, thinking that a business is easier is a fantasy. A business is easier in some aspects and harder in other aspects. You just got to trade off what hard you want. Okay, you can go into a business and triple your income in a year or two. Not many jobs you can do that unless, of course, you're taking a ton of classes, though if you already didn't have enough time in your life, you probably won't have anything left at the end. So people get locked into an employee mindset. They think a business is easier. And this one is a biggie. This is my personal pain point. And I'm going to lower hands. Watching someone who is successful and thinking that you have to do what they do to be successful. Now, this is extremely deceptive on social media. I have never, in my 27 years online, seen such a deception. Why? Because a lot of what people are doing on social media is not making them money. I personally break all the rules. That doesn't mean that they're not making 6, 7, or 8 figures, but some of the business trainers that you're watching made 7 or 8 figures doing something they don't even teach. Some of the business trainers you're watching made 7 or 8 figures in different ways, and now they have the luxury of playing on social media. So there's like this massive delusion. By the way, I make multiple 7 figures, and I have yet to create a Reels. Half of my posts don't have hashtags. I break a lot of rules and annoy the heck out of most business trainers. Make sure that you're not watching this whole delusion of create social media content and then wait, because you're not even seeing what they're doing with emails, what they're doing with ads, what they're doing to grow, what they're doing with market research, how many employees are behind that. So the third thing that causes people to fail is they're watching someone who's successful and being deceived by about what they should be doing every day. The next one, blaming something for lack, loss, or struggle. Or someone. So I'm going to tell you the truth. Anywhere you are blaming something or someone for why you're not successful, you must confront. And if you find it brings up an extremely emotional response, that confrontation, I highly recommend you either get a babysitter and lock yourself away for 4 to 8 hours, or go book a hotel. A lot of them are super cheap right now, and get away for a day and with your away from your spouse and everybody. But the thing is that I have a class in the vault on releasing trauma. It has impacted a lot of people's lives. I have learned so much since then, and I'm writing a book on it. But if you feel that the reason you won't be successful or aren't is because you have no support, guess what? I never had any support in my 24-year marriage. It's not why you're going to be not going to be successful. Your kids are not why you're not successful. When you have little babies, no, you should not be working as many hours as somebody who doesn't. When you have little babies, you're going to have to come up with a very unconventional schedule. When you have little babies, when you have teenagers who need you, especially in a pandemic, all these different things. When you have a spouse, when you have challenges financially, when you're in a location that you need to remove, go to a different location, when you have an illness, stop believing that these things are causing you to fail. They might slow down your goals, but if you do not quit, and if you do not faint in the face of that challenge, you will have more success than most of the people who will quit and most of the people who will blame. Believing it won't work and not willing to admit it. I'm not going to say who this is, but a very powerful pastor friend of mine who helps people have permission to think differently in the way that they live their life and how they do marriage and how they do dating and all of that. I had met with him and challenged him to start doing what he does on video. And initially, he did not believe it was going to work. And he was not willing to admit it. And then he came to me and said, sorry, coach, you're right. I should be doing this. So I'm going to set out and I'm going to do like a 10-minute video every day. And it's not just a video talking about nonsense. He's sharing his genius for 10 minutes a day. I got a DM 2 weeks ago. He was like, coach, I should have listened to you sooner. I've been doing a video every day for the last 14 days. And ready for this? Every time I do one, I get 2 to 5 new sales. So one of the reasons you're going to fail is if you believe it won't work and you're not willing to admit it and do it anyway.
something that I say, okay? You don't have to understand why it's going to work. Just do it and see if it will. Humor me a bit, because I love those DMs, not because people are apologizing. I can care less about that. But I love watching people succeed because they step into an area that wasn't comfortable for them. This is a painful one. You're not going to succeed in any of the things I'm going to teach you if you're not willing to confront where you're at, where you get distracted, where you're afraid, where you're really not working, where you're lazy, where you get distracted by arguing with complete strangers all day and give away 5 hours of your time a day, where you are picking stupid fights with your spouse because you're mad at yourself for being lazy in your business, where you should have gotten your butt in the gym or taken a walk around the block, but you decided to turn on Netflix instead. All of these things, they're never easy. I do them too. I have days where I'm just like, what are you thinking, Sandi? And I have to look in the mirror and go, hey, and have a talk with myself. If you're not willing to confront the reasons why you are stuck, you will not see the success that I believe is your God-given birthright. We serve a good daddy. I don't know a daddy alive on the earth who is saying, no, I just want you to receive what I give you, but I think you should be poor the rest of your life. No, I think you should just settle in what you have and don't try to dream at all. Are you kidding me? The very reason you want to dream, the very reason you want to get better, the very reason something wakes you up at night and you know you can do better is because your DNA, the protocol of who you are, a human being on this planet, was made to grow. And every time you shut that down, every time you won't confront it, you leave on the table what God designed for you. It is truly my belief that we all are wired for success. Does that mean everybody's going to be a millionaire? Heck no. You don't need to be a millionaire to be successful. Living on a nice, cheesy 6-figure income is enough for anybody. That's what I live on, even though my companies make a whole lot more than that. Here's another thing. It's the complete opposite of what I said. Now, entrepreneurs have a DNA that is very different. And we like to see results. We like to see results. You want me to move this way? Does that help? By the way, this is going to be recorded so you can always zoom in as well. I'm saying everything that I'm writing to. If you focus only on business 24/7, you're going to fail. Sure, you're going to have some success. Sure, you're going to have money in the bank, but it'll never satisfy you. You won't have what actually I desire above all things for you, and that is to know who you are in God, who he made you to be known by him, to understand how crazy he is about you, how much he loves you, how he's in a good mood when it comes to you every day. For you to succeed, enjoy your life, take care of yourself physically, and have wild, crazy, amazing relationships with the people you love. You won't have that if all you think about is business. And the last one, chasing a fantasy. And I'm sorry, but it is my responsibility. It is a part of my anointing. It is a part of why I have been successful. Chasing fantasies, you're going to find poverty waiting for you. People who want to get down to 20% body fat, who have 100 pounds to lose, and they want to do it in 6 weeks, are chasing a fantasy. Chasing fantasies is not just about making money. Listen to this. The average college semester is 15 hours. Is 15 weeks. Okay, so 15 weeks is the average college semester. 2 semesters is now 30 weeks. 30 to 40 hours of class and then homework. So the average college semester, 2 semesters with homework and all that, you're talking 60 hours minimum. I look in my Thinkific. I see that people check out at just a couple hours. I see that the people who make 6, 7, and 8 figures who go through our training, I can look at them in Thinkific and they have hundreds of hours of the video done, consumed, and many times repeated. Imagine if you were to do 40 to 60 hours of the classes in the Inner Circle Vault. College, $10,000, $20,000. Inner Circle Vault, $270 over 10 months. Okay, champions do what others are not going to do. That's in everything. So remember that as we move forward. Here's the deal. I'm going to give you many options with these 7 income streams. I'm going to share with you why they work. And a lot of this, I'm going to direct you to a couple hours of training in the vault. So that means I'm going to share one with you, and I'm going to say, I'm either going to give you everything you need, or I'm going to say, go take this 4-hour class. What I want you to do is park on one of them for 60 days, okay? Because if I can get you to park on one of these for 60 days and get you making some income, then I want you to pull the next one. Now, some of you, a small percentage of you, are going to be able to pull 3 or 4 of them and start making an income in all of them. The goal is to get to almost $250 a day. But in order to get to $250 a day, I need you to dive in deep, fully committed, laser focus. You've got, unless of course you're running for political office, do not get into any, not one conversation with anybody on social media about the pandemic. Unless of course you're going to be a frontline worker or a news reporter, or you're bringing out a book that's going to pay your family money to influence people on whether or not to wear a mask or not, shut it down. You are on full on focus. I'm chasing this thing, and I'm not going to let anything get in the way. It's amazing what you can do when you make the choice to do it. So, first one, affiliate offers. This is one of the fastest ways that you can make money. You can make money through Amazon affiliates. You can make money through any store that you like. You do not need to be a brand ambassador. Most stores that you are visiting online right now, let me make sure I've got the right mic on. I do, okay. You could actually go to their store, and on the bottom, it says affiliates. Now, in the vault, there are 4 hours of how to write your offer so that people click on it. To say, hey, I love this product, and here's my affiliate link, is not going to work. Can you imagine back in the day when there were all these TV playing and all these commercials? Now we watch TV, thank God, without all these commercials on streaming and stuff like that. But could you imagine those commercials saying, hey, this is a really good product and we think you should check our link? That's not going to work. I'm going to show you how to pre-schedule affiliate offers. So what that looks like is, first of all, if you're not using a Facebook page, I highly recommend you do. For affiliate offers, you don't necessarily need a Facebook page. Did I spell that right? Okay. But I do recommend you use a Facebook page for 2 reasons. Number one, all of the search engines do not spider and crawl your personal page because of privacy laws. So that means the only people who see your personal page are the people who interact with you or their friends. As soon as you have a business page, because of the words that I'm going to teach you on that 4-hour class, Google's going to start spidering you. You're going to show up in search feeds. You can actually go into Google AdWords and post a bunch of different things. It's really not that hard, and you do not need to be technically know how to code. What I want to get you to do is imagine if you had 5 affiliate offers. I made $8,000 on Amazon's affiliate tier with an acupressure mat. I did that several years ago. Did you guys see me post about the magnesium cream that I love that has melatonin in it? It's still on my Facebook page right now. That has already paid me $2,800. And I make a teeny tiny, just a couple dollars per sale. But because it's still on my page and it's still being sold and it's still out there, even when people are trying to pitch their stuff on my page, because my page reaches 5 million people organically because I create content people like, it's still selling. It's still selling. It's still selling. Something that's on my to-do list next week is to take all of the different nutritional products that I know everybody could benefit from and just create an ad and just do like, I'll probably do $100 a day. You could do $5 a day. That is going to bring you money right away. And for the person who's like, well, I don't know what to sell, go look at your checking account. What's the last thing you spent money on? Was it leggings? Was it a health product? Was it something that your baby likes? Was it something that made your home easier? Was it a tool dad's? Was it something that you weatherproofed your home with? Is it something that, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You'd be shocked. These earrings are making people 6 figures because of an affiliate offer. Remember, how do we make money? Getting more people in front of it. Affiliate offers can make you an amazing income. Let me show you something. Let me see.
And I'm not going to go too deep into this. Somebody says, my husband is laughing because my last purchase was weed. Well, I'll tell you what, when we can start shipping out marijuana via online with an affiliate link, whoop, whoop. But here's what I want to show you. Let's say, let me think. Lashify does not have affiliates yet. They should, because I would probably make 6 figures with their lashes already. Let's look at Sephora. And men, I don't know, you could go to Home Depot, you could go to Lowe's, you could go wherever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom and it says, ta-da, affiliates. So Sephora is proud to offer our customers and affiliate partners a large program. Now, what's really cool is a lot of these companies like Nordstrom's and that partner with massive companies all together. So let me see what this is. Yeah, is this Link Synergy? Link Share. See, this is a huge publication. So you just fill all this out. And what they're going to do is approve you usually in a week or so. And you can actually earn, it just depends. Sometimes it's 5%, sometimes it's 8%. Sephora affiliates, it says right there, Sephora inside JCPenney. You can't make affiliates there. But like, so for example, Nordstrom. By the way, I've gotten ladies some really amazing things at Nordstrom's by posting affiliate offers on my social media and then taking all my earnings from Nordstrom's affiliate and spending it. Where did you think? At Nordstrom's. You're right. Okay. I hate when the websites do this. They just keep reloading. Where are internet-based ads? Do they still have? I don't know if they still do affiliates. You'd have to look. This is one of the things I'm going to show you in the class. What you can actually look for. One of the things I'll do though is go, not there. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Affiliate program. So I couldn't find it on the bottom, and in the search feature in 2 seconds, I found it. The affiliate program is actually a partnership that this Nordstrom works with, like, I think there's like 100 other companies. So if you don't know what to sell, again, it's link share. So become a link share affiliate and you're going to get a ton of offers. One of the things, because of the influencer marketing that's out there, that people are leaving money on the table is they're thinking they need to become a brand ambassador. You do not. Is there an easy way to market our affiliates? Absolutely. Okay. So here's the thing. I want you to go to the Vault, and there is a course called Affiliate Offers. Now, one of the things on social media that's now required is that you state it's an affiliate offer. So most of the time I'll say, here's my affiliate link. You can also put in your information on your Facebook page or Instagram that you have affiliate offers. But because there's so many people posting affiliate offers, I just usually put, this is an affiliate link. And the moment you're afraid somebody's going to judge you because you're doing an affiliate offer, or somebody's going to say something gnarly, that's why social media created the block link. As much as your capacity to not worry about it, if people misunderstand you and judge you, that is directly related to your ability to make money. Everywhere you're worried about not being your truest self because someone might judge you, you're hindering your ability to make money. Affiliate offers is one of, if not the easiest way. Now, stocks and crypto. A lot of the gentlemen here are going to be very interested in this. And I will tell you, I made just under 6 figures so far in the last year. And I went back into it this year and was able to make, it's like $67,000 in 60 days. So one of the ways that I do stocks is because I actually follow trends and patterns. Now, something I want to talk to you about is that you can actually do $100 investment and turn it into $200. You can do $1,000 investment and have it turned into $2,000. You can do $10,000. I honestly have not seen ever, and I know you guys might be forgetting this, but no questions until we're either done or Monday, please. Stocks and crypto, trading and Bitcoin. To be honest with you, there's never been a better time. Never. There's never been a better time to make some great moves for your future and for your life right now in stocks and crypto. I made my first million online. I'm reading some things that I wrote because I wrote them in my journal in the morning, and I wanted to make sure I read it to you. I made my first million online 27 years ago when I came online. The biggest shift occurred online back then, and hear me, when the little guy, like stay-at-home mommy at home from her kitchen table, could compete with massive corporations because of the internet. And that very same kind of shift is happening now. Now, I'm not talking about what's going on with GameStop and Reddit and all these people. A lot of what's going on with Reddit is actually showing you the big shift that's happening, that it's no longer going to be held by big corporate agencies, big holding companies. But I would be really careful taking your advice from a bunch of yahoos in a Reddit group, because some of them know nothing about stocks and crypto. They just have the biggest mouth in the room. So then that gets very risky. But I do believe that it is time for the little guy, if you will, to make some big money in stocks and crypto. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I do right now, but I want to tell you, I'm so vested and invested in you doing this that for the first time ever, we are going to open up a stocks and crypto separate inner circle. But the cool thing is that the inner circle now is only $27. It used to be $97. The price that we're going to have that stocks and crypto book is going to be $77. We're going to give all new members or inner circle members access to all of it for $57. And I've got an incredible man who's partnering with me who was in the tech industry for over 15 years. And he walked away from a multiple 6-figure income 2 years ago, completely replaced his income in stocks and crypto. And he is going to be publishing videos every week. He's going to show you daily picks and weekly picks. We're going to do a live webinar every month. And we're going to show you all different types of stocks. Now, the 2 different softwares that I have used with stocks are E-Trade or Robinhood. Here's the thing I want to tell you. Don't let somebody lie to you and say, no, this software is better. No, actually, I disagree. The software that is the easiest for you to maneuver is better.
when you're talking about stocks and crypto. I happen to use Coinbase, and there's another one. I don't know if he's on here right now. He might be. He's not. There's another one that we're going to give in the group, but Coinbase is what I use for crypto and for Bitcoin. I know there's another one, and I'm sure many of you have all different kinds of resources. This is my challenge with stocks and crypto. The more information you read, the more confused you will get. And it is exactly the reason why people don't start a fitness program. People still haven't lost weight despite the fact of millions and millions and millions of pieces of information all over the internet. People still haven't been successful in business despite the fact that there's business trainers on every corner. So for me, my goal is to dispense to you the simplest, easiest to execute, lowest risk first. Then to talk about long and short-term earnings. We want to talk about what day trading is. We want to talk about why penny stocks can turn $100 into $5,000 if you do it the right way. There's all different ways in stocks. So as soon as you get into a group, what's interesting is that there's always somebody with the loudest voice in the room who wants to give you all their advice. I can't speak for those people. I can't invest in those people. And I can't promise you anything about those people. But one of the things I wanted to do, and I didn't want it to be more than what we used to charge for the other inner circle. Why am I not bringing it into the inner circle? Because there's a lot of people who do not want anything to do with this. And they don't want anything to do with stocks. They don't want anything to do with trading. So for $57 a month for the stocks, trading, and Bitcoin group, plus $27 a month for the inner circle, it's now going to be $84 a month for both. Some of you want both. The regular price is going to be $77, but if you're a founding member in our first 30 days, or you're an active inner circle member, you can have it for $57. The reason I want to keep them separate is there's a lot of information to give about stocks and Bitcoin. And it's not the kind of thing that like you talk about all day long. You look through the information, you execute, and we want to show you how to do that. We want to show you where you can have a risk and where you won't have a risk and what you can do. I'm not a financial planner, but I am a multimillionaire who's been doing business for 27 years. And one of my prophetic apostolic gifts is to watch trends and patterns of human behavior. And the reason I got online is because of the ease of use. Many of you, because of the pandemic, are stepping into where I was with my kitchenware business 27 years ago. Being able to compete with a large corporation selling a physical product. By the way, hold your seat, because in a little bit, I'm going to talk to you about physical products and how you can make an incredible amount of money with physical products very easily, by the way. But you couldn't compete with large companies like you can now. Now, the interesting thing is that it's actually quite exciting to me, because I've always had a vision and a dream, and there's been many prophetic words about me owning a holdings company. However, I believe that God has showed me that the reason I'm going to steward, which doesn't necessarily mean it's mine, $1 billion, is I want to get people not only building businesses, but doing stocks and crypto and being responsible for $1 billion made with all of the people. That dream excites me. Me making $1 billion, it doesn't excite me. Changing somebody's life, like my life has been changed. Y'all need to understand the reason I've been able to have the medical care I have is because the medical care that I do, between peptide therapy and everything else, costs me almost $2,000 a month. The average person couldn't touch that. But with affiliate offers and stocks, and we're going to go into digital products right now, you could, and you could change your life. That's why I'm really passionate about it. And that's why I believe God has given me a second wind for a small business, because this is an incredible time to make money online. We have a client, Leah Mchenry, who made $5 million in a business teaching a lot of what I had taught her, but in the music industry. And when the pandemic hit, her business wasn't suffering at all, but she got bit with a creative bug for a product. And she created candles. She made $1 million in 9 months with candles. So don't listen to the media. Don't listen to the demonic programming that's saying everybody's broke, everybody's trapped at home, everybody's going to starve to death and die, because that's not true. There are a lot of people making money in ways they never could have before. This is a beautiful time to rethink the way you do life. Okay. Number 3.
Digital products. Now, I am going to write a ton of things on the board. Those of you who are fact finders are going to feel a wee bit uncomfortable, but because I know how to lead you, and you can come back to the recording and write every single thing down in a categorized way that you want to later, just follow me on this journey. Digital products, OMG. What is a digital product? What is a digital product? A digital product is a how-to. So how-to products started in 2008. In 2008 is when people really started making a ton of money in how-to products. Ironically, when the pandemic hit, God had spoken into my spirit that a lot of what we did in 2008, is this even working? Okay, there we go. No microphone. Let's make sure it's working. Looks like it's not.
How's that? Is that better? Okay. I'll start over. There we go. Thank you very much. Okay, let's start over. Digital products. So in 2008, people made a lot of money with how-to products. They're digital products. That's when people started teaching how to do this, how to do that. Is it much better? You guys I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I love you. All right. Now, the cool thing is when the pandemic hit, I was seeking God as I always do, because he is the owner of these corporations that I own. And I just get to play along with him every day. And I was thinking, this is pretty crazy to me, God, because true sign of an apostle. I'm up here running, making millions, doing all this kind of stuff. And all of a sudden I start getting bored. I start getting so freaking bored. And I'm not talking bored in the house because they locked me in the house to a pandemic. I'm bored because I've been doing this for so long. I've got to do something different. And then the pandemic hit. And then I was like, what? I had no idea. So many people did not know how to use Zoom, did not know how to use a website, did not know that you could sell almost anything online, and did not know about how-to products. How-to products is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Let me show you how you could make, what if you only made $100 a day? What if you, listen to this. We wrote this out before. What if you made $47 a day in your affiliate programs, $97 a day, just 97 in stocks and crypto, and you made $127 a day in your digital products? Some of you just were like, so here's the thing. You could create a course on candle making. Now, the very minute that you think, yeah, but aren't a bunch of people that doing this? Can't you find free videos on YouTube? Why would anybody pay me for it? That is the poverty mindset. People don't want to search YouTube. There's only a particular person who will. Even if there's 197,000 other people teaching candle making, nobody's like you. There were so many people on every corner teaching about WordPress, but I'm the one who came along and said, all your courses confuse the heck out of me. And we made $1 million in 6 months teaching how to use WordPress for the average person who knew nothing about the internet. By the way, that course from 2008 is in the vault. People are creating courses on dating, the challenges of dating, why social media has destroyed dating, why there are different standards for dating, how to date after divorce, how to date when you're first getting out there, how to date when you're married, how to date if you're celibate. There's all different kinds of courses for dating, and people are making 7 and 8 figures teaching on that. People are teaching on menopause. People are teaching on makeup tutorials. And the first person who says, yeah, but there's a ton of them all over the place. Why would anybody pay me? Because you are unique. And because each one of us has a certain tribe that would rather work with us than that person that they can't relate to. Copywriting. If you know how to write words that sell, because that's what copywriting is, I have made an enormous amount of money, not only teaching people how to do copywriting, but doing copywriting myself as a direct response copywriter. Graphics, how to make graphics. Just because Canva and all these apps are super easy and they come with all kinds of explanations, you could literally make money showing how people how to use Canva. You could make money showing people all the different ways to use Hootsuite or using all the different ways of using, what is that other one? Sprout Social. The moment you think, yeah, but somebody else over here made $1 million with it. Most of the time it'll probably be me. I look for where everybody's going, that can't be done. And I'm thinking, really? They're all thinking it can't be done? I'm gonna go do it over here because there's a ton of customers waiting for it. Cooking and baking. This is where I made my first million. I made my first million teaching people how to make bread from scratch. I made my first million teaching them how to grind their own grain, make 20 pounds of dough, and I sold them all the different kitchenware that they needed. That started out with 10 items, 10 to 15 items, and I made my first million. I added a ton more items and went to 4 million. Cooking and baking. Diet, oh my word, there's so many different ways about dieting. And yet we have one of, if not the most obese nations on the planet in America. So that means somebody's failing, somebody's not getting through to people, and you could be the one who makes 8 figures, or maybe you just want to make $127 a day, teaching people why diets fail. I'm actually going to put in my new upcoming book, why I believe peptide therapy could change the world. And my story is actually being used by my doctor in Manhattan, in Israel, Romania, and another place next week. Fitness. Not only are a lot of people now working out at home, but the number one reason why people do not have the results that they want in their fitness, there's 2 top reasons, is their diet and their form. Just because there's 9,827 people in my case in point. I used to be a bodybuilder. I've been working out since 2017, and I could not get my lazy glutes to activate. As a matter of fact, my knee-on-knee pain, bone-on-bone pain in my knee, and even the stem cells that I got did not help. I could leg press 550 pounds for 12 reps, but heck if I could do 60 pounds on a leg curl until I got the right trainer, who's going to be creating a course with me now, who taught me how to activate my glutes. All those booty programs I got, and nobody was telling me how to properly activate my glutes. You can make a ton of money with fitness. Debt. This is a huge one right now. This is an 8-figure business, and credit scores, because there's a lot of people been really hit hard with the pandemic and the hopelessness. There's a lot of business owners that do not know they have a lot of resources available to them. They have a lot of resources available to them that they wouldn't have if they weren't an LLC or an S Corp or a C Corp. Even if you're just a everyday mom and dad who was working for somebody, and now you're trying to start your own thing and your credit score sucks and you're up to your ears in debt. I was $247,000 in debt when I started my very first business. You can actually create courses to show people what they do not know. Lexington Law is one of the giants in the land when it comes to credit score repair. And yet there's a ton of people who could actually teach it better and give better one-on-one care. How to keep plants alive, how to do container gardening, how to grow herbs in your own house, plants, 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 and more plants. What are you currently doing right now when you're bored out of your mind? What are you currently doing right now when you wish, when you're kind of like trying to dissociate from everything that bugs the heck out of you? It might be the thing that you could create a digital product for. Canning. When I had my kitchenware business, we actually partnered with Back to Basics and brought in all kinds of canning equipment and taught women the old-fashioned art of canning, pressure cooking, and all kinds of different things. Canning, you could create a course. I actually know a girl who created a canning course and a bone broth course and made $1 million. Car repairs, gentlemen or ladies, because none of these are male, female, distinguished. Anybody can do these, but car repairs. Can you show someone what comes to you naturally? The very thing, and write this down, the very thing that I think no one would pay me because it is so easy for me, I'm sure it's super easy for them, is the thing that you could make $1 million in. Because the fact that it is super easy for you, this car repair, showing people how to do simple car repairs that could lengthen the life of their car and home repairs, literally. How to get stains out of carpet, formulate your own carpet stain remover. There's this family on Amazon that I met, I can't remember their name right now, but I bought it. And it's the only thing I've ever used that literally gets stains out of cream colored carpet. And it is the thing that usually carpet cleaners are using, but the everyday mom and dad couldn't buy it. So I'm buying all this other stuff, is not doing nothing. And I buy this stuff, spray it on it like, I think there's voodoo or something involved in here. Because like 1 minute you see the yellow stain and then it's gone. And they actually showed how to not only help your carpet, but they did all kinds of videos on how to even, how they replace the foam underneath and all kinds of stuff that you typically would have to have a professional do. DIY projects. I remember when Jennifer Allwood came to me many years ago, she tells this story, which is kind of cool. In her book, and she had a faux painting business, and she's a girl who would faux paint anything, and even if it was moving, she might threaten to paint you. And she really was getting burnt out, and she wanted to create some information products. So she created a product, her very first product, on how to faux paint. I think it was a cabinet for like a dining room or living room. She made $8,700 on the first week that thing launched. She was only taking $88,000 a year from her multiple six-figure painting business because she had employees. And she made $8,700 on the first week of that 2-hour DIY, how to faux paint your very own cabinet. DIY projects, like I could create 100 lists here. Any of these that you want to figure out as well, DIY projects, you could type that into Google and find a list of 100 of them. Making jewelry or cards. People will pay for this. How to identify your spiritual gifts. What these spiritual gifts look like. How these spiritual gifts act. All of this information, digital products. So in the vault, get your pen and paper ready.
In the vault. In order to do these successfully, you are going to have about 10 or 15 hours of training and about 20 hours of execution, maybe 30. So that's an average work week. One of the things that the pandemic has done that is frustrating to me is that people are giving away their time on social media chit chat. If you used to work a 40-hour job and you're not now, have a conference in your home and say, this is what I'm doing. These are the hours I'm doing it. I'm building our future. I want you guys to pray with me, set an intention with me, however you want to say that, and put it down to get it done. The courses that you need to take is Info Products Made Simple. That's in the vault. Everything you could ever imagine about this is there. Product launch strategy. This is super exciting to me because we have a library of resources that have paid me millions, made my clients millions. Info Products Made Simple. The product launch strategy is going to show you how to launch it, the timetable of launching it, the massive mistakes you could make in launching it, and how not to make them. Blueprint for sales pages is going to show you what you actually need on your sales page and what you actually don't need. Okay. No questions. I know it feels urgent. I know it feels like you want your question answered right this second, but to be honest to you, I can't answer your questions today because I need to keep you focused in information receiving, knowing how to discipline your mind to take those questions, write them on a piece of paper and save it for Monday, and stay focused is one key to making six figures. If you have that compulsion that as soon as you have a question, I have to have it answered, that's not going to pay you a ton of money. Because a lot of times, as I continue on with this course, I'm going to give you your answer and you're going to start checking your questions off and have nothing left on Monday. The other thing that's neat is you're going to listen today. This information is coming at you like a fire hose. And then you re-listen to it. You don't have to watch it every time. Just have it on your phone and your headphones. You're grocery shopping, listen. You're driving in the car, listen. You might have a teenager who sprouts a business idea. All three of my sons were making money by the time they were 12. And then you're going to bring your question on Monday. It'll be much different. Okay, we are going to take a break. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about self-publishing books, how to do it, why you might want to do it, and a massive resource I have for how I made $500,000 with one self-published book, $250,000 with a different one, and how I got a multiple $200,000 advance from a publisher, and I probably would never go with a publisher again. Then we're going to talk about live classes, information products you can actually do in ebooks. You can do in audio. You can make white papers. You can pre-record everything. If you're scared out of your wits to talk to people live in a Zoom meeting, you can do it and never show your face at all. I show you how to do that. Now we're going to go into live classes, masterminds, webinars, and different things like that. And then actually, I usually do it live and then resell it. Then we're going to talk about memberships. All of these different things are going to tie together. You could make memberships. And we're going to close up with the finale on physical products, where you can find resources that will willingly drop ship you samples, where you can actually get incredible pricing, and how to sell them. And right now, I'm going to pick 4 people who are going to meet with me in April for a 1-hour seminar. Dezara Beck, Dezara Beck. Don't raise your hands. I'm not looking at any hands. I'm not taking any questions either. I'm just rolling up and down, rolling up and down, rolling up and down. Let me see. Renee Sunday. And I'm just scrolling this thing up and down, up and down. Kevin Reed. Let me see, rolling this up and down. Brandon Claiborne. And actually, I'm going to throw another person in there just for good measure. Let me see. April Gonzalez. Okay, I've got your names written down, and I will post your names in the group, and we will make sure we've got your information in Thinkific and that. We've got your email information as well. We are going to make sure that you get that information, and I'll meet with you for 1 hour for free and strategize some of these things. So you have a 15-minute break. I'm going to set my timer. I'm going to pause the video so that it doesn't have a 15-minute like nothingness in the middle. I hate that. And I'm going to go grab some almonds and drink the rest of my hibiscus tea and stretch because Brandy beat me up this morning in the gym. And I'll see you guys in 15 minutes and we'll continue on. Okay. We still have a minute and a half. Let me see if I can't pull the affiliate link for that book on Amazon. I do not even think. I don't even know if it's in hardcover anymore. Oh, it is. Okay. I'm going to post it in the group right now. Okay. It's in the group. It's called the Irresistible Offer. The thing I will tell you about the Irresistible Offer, Mark Joyner is one of those marketers who was around when I first cut my teeth, after I had sold my kitchenware store. Let me see. I do have it. Here it is. And how to sell your product or service in 3 seconds or less. These are the kind of books that marketers today don't have. It drives me bonkers. I don't mean to say that derogatorily. It's just, there's a lot of people teaching how to start a business who did not make money in the way that they're teaching it, which is really a conflict of interest in my personal book. So if somebody made a ton of money selling a product, and they've never created any digital products, and they're trying to teach you how to make money with digital products, you're going to have a problem. The interesting thing about Mark Joyner is that he uses a lot of tangible, everyday examples and how to bring it. He talks a lot about Little Caesars and Domino's and major brands and how they pulled themselves back together when they almost lost everything and went bankrupt. It's a fantastic book. I happen to love, and again, we're not taking questions right now. I happen to love the Audible version of the Irresistible Offer. So here's just a trick that I do. When you're in the shower and getting ready in the morning, most of us have anywhere from a half hour to an hour to get ready. So pop in some headphones when you're in the shower. I personally will put my iPhone in the corner of the shower, and I'm learning something always. My brain is always learning something. I'm pouring into that computer. And the Irresistible Offer is a fantastic book on understanding what actually makes an offer something that will cause somebody to whip out their credit card. One of the things that I've always taught in marketing is that, thank you, Sherry. One of the things I've taught in marketing is that you don't want people thinking. And I don't mean you're trying to take advantage of them or anything, but when somebody's selling me something, the worst thing you could do is now take me out of my buying. I want this. I want to buy it. Where's the link? Tell me where to give you my credit card. Hurry up. How fast? I'm running out to the mailbox today. Can you bring it to me in an hour? You want people to stay in that space. And a lot of times with our offer, we get people into going, huh? What did you say? That's confusing. No, that's unbelievable. What? That's like, what? That's boring. And they get rid of all the things that you're posting. And the Irresistible Offer shares a lot about how you can get people into that right space. I want to show you an equation that I wrote while we were taking a break. One of the reasons I'm passionate about opening up a stocks and crypto group is not only because there's a huge opportunity for anybody to make money there. If you made $3,000, $4,000 a month in stocks, your mind is going to open up to possibility with money. See, some of you have never made an income or money in any way other than dollar per hour or somebody else giving it to you or donating it to your ministry, etc. So when you are able to make money in some way, like stocks or crypto, even if you only make $1,500 a month, your brain is going to open up to possibility. Your conscious and non-conscious mind is going to begin to rewire the fabric when it comes to making money, creating wealth, having profits in a business. And one of the best ways I know to do that right now is with affiliate offers and stocks and crypto. Somebody had posted in the group, if you stay in this inner circle and you go into the stocks and crypto inner circle, it'll only be $84 a month. We're going to have a special offer that I promise I'll post for you guys.
But imagine if you made $77 a day in stocks. Now, my goal was to get to 500. So a lot of the times the way I play on stocks, and I've actually gone beyond it and I have some long-term and short-term stocks, is my day was 500. So as soon as I get to $500 in profit, I sell everything and withdraw it. Some of you are like, what? I do have some long-term plays, but my thing that I did a lot for the first 6 months I ever did stocks was $500. Sometimes I'd make $500 10 minutes after the bell opened up. So that meant I had to have the discipline, sell it all and withdraw $500. If I made 727, I would withdraw the 500 and leave the other 227 and invest it the next day. I want to teach you how to make your first $100 a day. But let's say you make $77 a day in just stocks. And you follow what I said with courses. See, some of you are listening to all these internet marketers make $10,000 a day and they make $90,000 here and $75,000 here. And you're beating yourself up if only one person buys your course a day. Well, if you have a course, like we were just talking about info products, and you sell one course a day, just one, at $47 times 365 days, that's $17,155. Not even our president is giving out $17,155 a year stimulus checks, okay? That's $17,000. So if you did $77 a day in stocks, you sold $47, you sold just one course a day. Your goal is one course a day. Anything that happens above that is cream. Let's say you also write an ebook, or some of you are like, oh, I don't know if I could do an ebook, but I could create worksheets and do audios. Great. Info Products Made Simple is going to show you how to do that. Let's say you sold your audio book that you publish on and you have it on your website. It's not on Audible and you're selling it for $17. Let's say you sold only one a day, just one. And then let's say you have a couple affiliate offers up. You've got some Amazon affiliate offers. You got your favorite jeans everybody's always asking you about, whatever. You've got some ads out there for $5 a day because now you're making $77 a day in stock. So you've got $5 a day going into your ads for your affiliate. That's the only place you have ads right now. You're creating content for this. Let's say you did $97 a day in affiliate offers. Let's say you create a blog and you really like to write. And you go into Google AdWords and you start making some ad revenue. I'm not going to teach you how to do this. You can go into Google AdWords. It'll show you how your website can show up on other people's. What is, you just put a code on your website, an embed code. You can find somebody on Fiverr, Fiverr.com, to do it for you for $5. And there's an embed code that goes onto your website. And every time somebody clicks on it from Google, you make money. It's called ad revenue. Let's say you make $27 a day with that. Guess what, honey? You're now making $265 a day. Now, some of you might say, I'm not doing that. I don't want to blog or anything. Great. Let's say you sold 2 more ebooks. Let's say you sold 2 courses. Let's say you went up to $400 a day in stocks. If you just did this, you'd be making $96,725. And some of you have been birthing your course for like 10 months and you're all discouraged because you've only sold 27 courses. This is multiple streams of income. This is not more than one social media profile. Sure, you want it on Facebook, you want it on Twitter, you want it on Instagram. This is not 5 websites. You can do all of this with one website, with one business page. It's amazing. This is a completely different way to look at this. The fact that I wrote it on an envelope, anywhere I could grab paper. All right, let's move forward. So, in the Inner Circle Vault is a course called The Author's Art.
It is a 2-day event that we recorded in my Kansas City offices. Anybody who wants to make money with books, you need to take that course. I sold $500,000 of the Be More book. The way I did it, I showed you in that course. The way I actually got a multiple 6-figure royalty check, actually it was an upfront check to write Anomaly Mindset, is what I did in that course. The way we did $250,000 in Read Their Mind. I need to rewrite that book. You can actually find the PDF of it, I believe, in the vault. Came from that course. So you can actually do articles, you can do videos, you can do $5 a day in ads to sell your self-published book. There's so many different ways to do it. You can actually find a company that'll do it for you. You basically can record it. They can turn it into a book with the audios. I've actually had some of my webinars turn into books. I just haven't activated it yet. I want somebody to go through the vault and take the top 10 classes that I have and turn them into books. Let me see if I can find what that looks like. I can show you one of the ones we did. It's actually probably in the other room. I need to get another bookcase. We would take the transcript, have it turned in, take the recording, turn it into a transcript, have somebody edit the transcript, turn it into a little spiral pound book, and you can actually sell it that way. So you can actually have a company do it for you. I paid $40,000 to have somebody do that with the Be More book, and a warehouse had all the inventory. You can also do it yourself, where you find a place online. I talk about that in the author's art, that they now print on demand. So that means a book isn't even printed until it's sold. So you put your book on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and Apple's books and stuff like that. And nothing ever is printed and shipped until somebody pays for it. So you can do it where you have them all printed. I did that with my cookbook, which I don't even know if I'd recommend that anymore. We actually went to like Kinko's, an office supply place a long time ago. We took pre-orders. We sold, I think, like 400 or 500 copies, had them printed, and then shipped them out. Now there are people that's what they do for a living. So they print one book at a time. Self-publishing books, I highly recommend. I don't know if I'll ever get around to it. Maybe I'll just consult somebody else to do it. I would like to reinvent the way publishing is done. Yes, Amazon does it as well when you self-publish, isn't it? There's so many tools on Amazon. As a matter of fact, when I get to drop shipping with products, we'll talk a little bit more about that too. Go to Amazon.com. Let me see if we can find it on the bottom. Usually it's on the way bottom on Publish Your Book. And so there's so many different ways. Some of you have a message inside of you that you are supposed to be releasing to the world. Remember the reasons I gave you why people aren't successful? Some of you aren't writing your book because you're still locked into an employee mindset. You're still trying to calculate how many hours is this going to take. Some of you aren't publishing your book because you think somebody else publishing it is going to be easier, when actually you could publish a book that births a course, that births another book, that births a bunch of affiliates you have actually selling your stuff. By the way, my affiliate course can help with that as well. It's in the vault. But because of your belief system about business, you haven't written your book yet. One of the ways that I teach on writing a book, you can write an hour every day. I prefer to lock myself away and write a lot all at one time. I like to go up to Sedona, or I'll lock myself away in a resort here in Arizona and write. I like to get into a different environment. But some of you have not written your book. One of the third reasons is because you've watched somebody who was an author, who got to New York Times bestseller in, 2.5 minutes, and you're trying to pattern yourself after them and it's not working because you're following a delusion. So watching someone who's successful and being deceived by what they do all day is the reason why you haven't published your book. Some of you have had other mentors tell you something that came from their own pain or loss or trauma or whatever. We're all human beings trying to do the best that we can. And you put your dream on the shelf, and God is summoning you right now. I can feel it in the spirit to pick that up, forgive them, and write that book. Whoa, I feel that very strongly. Books are selling right now, like almost more than they used to, because people are at home. There's a whole group of people who are like, okay, if I have to watch Netflix one more time, I'm going to die. And now they're reading books, and now people are stepping into learning in different ways. So publishing your book, some of you aren't because you're still blaming it on something or someone. Remember I said, number 4, the reason you're not successful is because you are blaming something or someone that happened into your life. Some of you aren't writing your book because you're believing it won't work and you're not willing to admit it. So now we know you're going to get over that and you're going to take the author's art. Some of you aren't willing to confront what distracts you, why you're afraid, why you're not working, why you've been lazy, why you've put it off, why you blame somebody else. You're not willing to confront it. But I believe that because now you're in my vortex, and at the end of this time, you're going to confront it and you're going to write your book. Some of you have not written your book because you have obsessed about your book so much that you actually got yourself sick. So you're going to lay that down. And some of you are not publishing your book because you've been chasing a fantasy. Publishing a book can open a lot of doors for you, but don't chase a fantasy thinking that you're going to publish a book. It's going to become a New York Times bestseller. And then all of a sudden people are going to pay you $1 million to publish a book. Not likely. Less than 2% of authors that ever happens to. Most authors get a $10,000 book royalty for writing a book. The best thing that you can do when you're writing a book is have some of these other multiple streams of income going, because it's going to affect your brain in a completely different way. The way we think, the beliefs that we have, the beliefs we are unwilling to confront. I can actually see some of the beliefs that some people in here are not willing to confront by the content that they create. If your fear is exposure, then Stacy, I highly recommend, and I'm not going to be taking any questions until Monday, that you find a psychologist or psychiatrist who can work with you. The reason that you fear exposure is because of some sort of deep-seated belief that if something is exposed, people won't understand you, you'll be judged, you won't be able to cope, whatever it is. It's coming from trauma. I highly recommend EMDR. EMDR, and a psychiatrist or psychologist who can do cognitive therapy with you to confront that. Because it is my belief that you're actually not afraid of being exposed. You're actually afraid of what might happen if you're successful. So I don't know about you, but I manufacture a ton of reasons why I can't do what I've been called to do. And while I've been doing a lot of what I've been called to do, there's still other things I'm called to do that I have not been able to do until I started getting more healing. One of those things required me to get new friends, to stop trying to friend everybody who wanted to be my friend, to stop trying to chameleonize myself or feel bad or rescue people's disappointments when I didn't want to be their friend. All of these things need to come through healing. And I'll tell you, nothing has drove me into the desire to get healed more than my business. Because people buy our products and you're dealing with people all day in business. And a lot of times when you have trauma, you don't want to deal with people. So the next thing I want to talk to you about, so we've done self-published books, is live classes, master classes, webinars like this, masterminds. I think one of the challenges with this is that people don't get enough experience. So as soon as they get a great idea or a mentor tells them they could be super successful in something, they set out to do it. And yet they really don't have proven experience outside their own life. One of the things that I will say to you as a leader that will be the best thing you ever do for yourself is to test market what you're doing. Start creating a track record for what you want to teach, even if it's how to keep plants alive, even if it's like that big long list that I showed you. Getting experience that proves your track record and staying in the game are the top things you will ever do to be successful. The way people ask me all the time, how do you stay motivated and how do you get rid of fear and doubt? By staying in the game. I'm not teaching you stuff I did in my kitchenware store only. I'm not teaching you stuff I did 15 years ago. When I see people come out of ministry and wanting to start a business, and they have this expectation that it should be successful because they've been doing it in ministry for 15 years, they forgot that is a massively different realm. Not to mention the mountains of influence and the 7 mountains that I've talked about. You'll find that teaching in the vault. But one of the things that happens in ministry is you're dealing with all different kinds of people. You're dealing with different kinds of spiritual warfare. You're dealing with you really in ministry, a lot of times you don't have to have a proven track record. Unfortunately, in some cases, you don't even have to have experience because people volunteer their way into certain things. So one of the things that I want to make sure that you guys do that will prevent you from having doubt is to get some experience now. So if there's something that you were doing in ministry before or in some other way before, start doing it with people now to get a bunch of stories. When I first came out of the gates, I had been writing copy for all my websites, had made millions of dollars, and now I wanted to teach other people. And I wanted to write copy for people. Well, I had never charged for that. So the millions of dollars that I made in e-commerce did not qualify me to write emails for other people, despite the fact that I had made millions of dollars writing emails for my business. And some of you, that's where you got it massively wrong. Because what'll happen is you will not be able to overcome the fraud police. You will not be able to overcome that self-doubt. So I used to charge $79 initially, then $149. Now I wouldn't write an email campaign unless somebody put $25,000 on the table. Not because of ego or anything, because my experience is so profound that I won't write an email for someone unless I know I can make $100,000 for them. Getting that experience will confound and confront. It'll confound the doubt. It'll confound the fear, and it will confront, if you let it, where you're weak, where you shouldn't be doing certain things, where you need more experience, where you need more training, where you lack. Just because you've done it in a closed setting with other people doesn't mean you can do it with 10,000 people. So don't fear that getting that experience. Don't fear that proving your track record and staying in the game. And one of the worst things that you can do is take 10 different courses from 10 different business trainers because you'll confuse the heck out of yourself. One of the things you want to do is get results with some people. And when you do that, you start beta testing your findings. You also find a way to correct your mistakes. Before I ever created an inner circle mastermind, I taught a lot of online webinars and I learned how to convey information. I got better at conveying the information. I learned how to address comments and how not to feel compelled to answer every question, to have specific days for Q&A, and to not be disturbed or feel like I have to rescue someone's disappointment if they didn't get their question answered. Getting that done in an environment with live webinars gave me the experience to start doing it in a membership. So the five things that I will say. You can do live classes exactly the same way I talked about info products, except now you're going to do them live in Zoom or some other streaming. The courses that I gave you for the digital classes, Info Products Made Simple, Product Launch Strategy, and Blueprint for Sales Pages, will be hugely advantageous to you there. But get experience. Don't try to rush the process. Prove your track record. Just because you got prophetic insight on it doesn't mean you have anything to say to anybody. Prove that you can take that prophetic insight and turn it into a tangible, transferable skill to benefit people. Because in ministry, in the marketplace, in ministry, a lot of times you've got people doing things that they may be gifted in, but nobody's overseeing or regulating it. And what happens in business is people pay you for value. This is why a lot of times in ministry, people have a hard time charging for things, which is completely unbiblical, because Paul was a tent maker. And so the thing is that if God gives you a God-given talent, how do you justify what you charge? By first doing market research on what other people are charging, with confronting your current skill set versus what you want to charge. Stop dreaming you're going to make 6 figures in 6 months with your first webinar if you've never done one before. Stop dreaming you're going to make 6 figures in 6 months with your first webinar if the only place you ever did it was the church, and now you're trying to bring it into the marketplace, because that is a totally different realm. This is why multiple streams of income is going to help open your mind to how people actually make money, etc. So get experience, prove your track record, stay in the game, stay a student. The moment you think you don't need to learn anymore, you're on a very slippery slope. I spend a minimum of 10 hours a week learning. Not talking to women all day on the phone about every Tom, Dick, and Jane thing that bugs the crap out of me. Not going on social media arguing with complete strangers about nonsense because my estrogen levels are up. Not watching Netflix to dissociate from things that I don't want to deal with, but learning and confronting what is going on. It's something, because it has always been very difficult for me to tell people that aspect about transformation in business. Because of my trauma, I felt like I had to rescue them from disappointment. When you rescue somebody from disappointment, you take away the opportunity for them to grow. And yes, people are going to get mad at you, because it's a whole lot easier to get mad at you than it is to confront their own nonsense. But we have to be big enough for that. It used to be hard for me. And I used to actually get irritated when people would say, "Can you just give me a few tips?" I'm thinking, shoot, if I could give you a few tips, I'd be a multi-billionaire. Do you think I got here with a few tips? I didn't get the body I have with a few tips. I didn't change my health with a few tips. I didn't start my first business with a few tips. What we need is an education. And I want to speak a fact to you that some of you may have never heard before, and I hope you take it to heart. You do not lack money. I don't care how broke you are. I don't care if there's a negative balance in your checking account right now. You lack knowledge. Because the way that you get more money is to increase your knowledge, to increase your value. You know how you go from making $77 in stocks to making, now I make several thousand a day on some of them. And some days I don't even pay attention to it. And the market goes up and down. So if I lose, I can gain, and lose and gain is by making sure that I am growing, that I am learning, that I am increasing my knowledge. And even if you're not the kind of person who likes to read the Bible, let me tell you about this one. That's very true. With the increase of knowledge comes much sorrow. And one of the worst things you can do is increase your knowledge and not activate it, because now you become full of yourself. Sandi's loose paraphrase from the book of Ecclesiastes. The way that something starts showing up in your life and other people start seeing it is because you activate activate it. Now, memberships, like there's so many different ways you can start memberships. There is a membership course that not all of you need. A few of you might. If you've already done webinars and you already have done coaching, or you've already done physical products and you want to learn how to turn it into a 7-figure membership. I've been making 7 figures with memberships since 2008. I have a course that was a couple $1,000s. We sell it for 300 and something. You'd have to write my client care team for a discounted price. But the majority of you can go into the vault and type in memberships and recurring payments. The reason memberships work is because people are making a commitment. Their buy-in to go the course with that membership. So when you create a membership, you actually have to create regular content over and over and over and over again. I have over 500 hours of training in the vault. So when I went to the 3 hours a month masterclass, which we're actually going to change this again, probably starting next month, where we'll do the 3-hour masterclass. And then I'm going to actually give you guys some preliminary homework the week before and Q&A after. I'm always looking for more ways to get you to activate. I am an apostle in business. I have not been assigned as an apostle and prophet on the mountain of religion. When people try to vacuum me back into a typical church setting and all they want me to do is teach Bible studies, and I love the Greek and Hebrew. And I love to study the Word of God. And I love worship more than I do anything on the face of this earth. But God himself positioned me in business. This is a word for some of you. And when I start going back into a different realm, a different lane that I am not called to, I start encountering all kinds of spiritual opposition that I do not encounter where my assignment is. Now, the spiritual opposition that I encounter where my assignment is completely different than people will experience over, say, in the church realm on the mountain of religion. And a lot of them, where God assigned me to do warfare, to transform cultures, to change people's lives, they're terrified of it. Most of the places where God assigned me, like in business and making money and all that kind of stuff, just read my Facebook page for a little humor one night while you're having a glass of wine with your spouse. Lord, have mercy. The amount of people, the church has more issues with money than they do the devil. I'm just going to throw that out there. But God assigned me to business. And a lot of the stuff that might take somebody out who's been assigned into ministry doesn't take me out, because that's where he assigned me. I want to encourage you before you start like a membership. And the reason I say it specifically with memberships is because you're giving a long-term commitment to providing some information in a membership. Even if, like, for example, if the guy who does detailing and stuff, he's already doing detailing all the time. Okay. He's committing to long-term showing up every month and doing the detailing. So that means now his entire life is rocked in a good way and in a different way. So that means currently he has a schedule, which is actually kind of cool. He's like in his 20s. When I want to make money, I go detail cars. And when I don't want to make money because I have enough, I don't have to. I love watching his Instagram page where he's like, we're going to be gone for 10 days. So if you guys would like to book when we get back, I'm like, he made enough money to take off for 10 days. And I love that. That's great for 20 something. But if he wanted, let's say he gets married and starts having little babies, and then he needs a little bit more green, if you will, in the bank account. He needs some regular money. He could actually create a membership and he could lock down 15 or 20 clients every month and give them a discount because they are prepaying let's say the first of the month, all of his memberships go through, and then he goes and serves them and then fills in the gaps. That's another membership. But again, he's got to prepare for that's a different schedule. People get all romantic about memberships, but they're not preparing for the different schedule. Sometimes the different schedule makes life a whole lot easier. I know I got to set my Mondays aside. When I'm not teaching you guys, I'm researching everything that I need to do. That means No classes all week. It's wonderful. I can do my stocks. I can write my book. I can learn more about crypto. I can create content. If I want to consult someone one-on-one, I can. I can look for some affiliate offers. I can go climb a mountain. I can take a nap in the middle of the day if I feel like it, because my Mondays are locked. Then you spend most of your time just trying to get new members. Memberships are brilliant. I've seen dentists who've had the teeth cleaning membership. I've seen weight loss clinics who have people coming in for their regular weigh-in, and they publish an ebook that they print out for them every month, and it now becomes a $17 membership. Memberships are not always $97. They're not $27. It just depends what you want to market. But memberships can be in any of the industries that I listed for digital products and more. I guarantee you, if you have a dream about doing a membership, if you will discipline yourself to create a webinar once a month and market it and sell it, that'll prepare you rather than jumping right into memberships. If you aren't going to do any kind of thing like that and you want to do memberships like I was suggesting my friend do for car detailing or whatever it is, I recommend for 6 months you have, if he was going to do that, I would say to him, here's what I want you to do. I want you to set 6 people on a recurring payment, just 6. So those 6 are locked into your calendar, come hell, come high water, come difficulty, come whatever. You want rarely to have to reschedule that. And let's see how he does. If it causes him stress all month, he's not ready for a membership. If it makes his life easier because it's predictable and he knows when he can play, and it's no longer guesswork, he can add or take away from those locked in ones. It might be the best thing for him. I'm so surprised that, like, for example, I'm at my hair salon. She's always selling products in that. Why does she not have membership shipping out to people? Why does she not, every person she does blonde with and platinum with or whatever, every month they're on a recurring plan where her supplier sends to that person's home the purple shampoo? Why are we only selling hair care products when people walk into the salon? Why isn't there recurring? Why isn't there recurring regular fulfillment of some of these items that people get with our products? I've always wanted to bring a journal into the inner circle. We were working on it for a little while, and then there was all kinds of chaos that created, so it wasn't completed. But somebody might create a journal. It now becomes a consumable product. So you could create time management tips and how to keep your life on track 4 times a year in a webinar, and you could have recurring journals that are sold out. Every month or every 3 months, you send out 3 of them. I mean, you could send out 1 a year. Just memberships are endless. Any of you who are dreaming about memberships, I want to encourage you to get alone. Find the time when you know you are at your best. Me, it's 4:30 in the morning. 4:30 in the morning, I can hear Holy Spirit louder than any other time of the day. And when I'm looking to get information, like even for these classes, most of my notes were written between 4 and 6 a.m. So I lock that time away. That means I've got to get to sleep by 8 or 9 to be able to do that. I know I've got to be at the gym at 7. So I lock that time in. But I want to encourage you, if you want to do memberships, to put on the calendar time to just dump it. Sit with your spouse or just by yourself and write every idea, logical and illogical and sensical and nonsensical, and everything that pops in your head. And you will find what you could actually do memberships with. Memberships are phenomenal. There is so much information about memberships, auto ships, and recurring payments in the Inner Circle Vault. But what I'm excited about is I am activating you on why to take that class. The Inner Circle Vault is not a syllabus. It's not a curriculum. It's a library. So some of you are going to go into the Inner Circle and you're going to study everything about affiliates. Anytime I talked about affiliates in the Inner Circle section, the course that there's affiliates, anywhere where I represent affiliates. Some of you are going to look at digital products, info products, ebooks, audio courses, video courses. You're going to look up everything under that. Some of you are going to look up everything under publishing your own book. Some of you are going to look under live classes, webinars. Now you know that's what I want you to lock into for 60 days. If you were to do an hour or two of training every day for the next 60 days, taking Sundays off, your life would change. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. As a matter of fact, I can see a few of you on here. You guys are so sweet because you'll send me apology emails. I just love you. I don't need the apology at all. You need to just forgive yourself or whatever. Maybe you don't need to forgive yourself. But some of you are like, oh, I used to just like pick and choose around the vault. And I used to wait for, something to catch my fancy. And, I just didn't find what I did, this, that, and the other thing. And then I made a commitment. For the next month, I am going to watch 1 hour a day. And it always happens. You guys get to like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, what she said actually works. And the only problem was you just confronted your inconsistency. So there's a ton on memberships. As a matter of fact, I'm going to now go into physical products. And one of those physical products might be direct sales or MLM. If you're in any kind of business like that, I do not recommend you have 9 direct sales companies or 8 MLMs and you're hoping one of them will pop. I highly recommend you do, like I said, do some stocks, get into our new membership on that. Maybe write an ebook, do some affiliate sales. Direct sales and MLM, there's specific training for you in the vault as well. You can just look up network marketing or direct sales. I did make over $1 million in that industry. And so I know what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to doing it online and not meeting people face to face and all that other kind of codependent nonsense. So physical products. This is fun. Physical products can be one of a few options. You can actually create your own product. Maybe you create candles like Leah did. Maybe you create soaps or lotions, or you're creating your own CBD oil, or you make your own wine and you get it certified or whatever the thing is. And Dry Farm Wines is a physical product that started out of a dream to have good sugar-free organic raw wines that didn't affect people's blood sugar or their nutrition or workout goals. If you're interested in a penny dollar offer, do you hear my affiliate offer? Go to dryfarmwines.com/a real change. That's actually a podcast commercial we did too. That is a physical product somebody created and it grew into multi-million dollar business, was even endorsed by Oprah this past Christmas. But for the rest of us who just want to drop ship a couple things. So for example, I'm going to give you a resource, and this resource is where I'd be willing to bet 75% of the people on Amazon who are selling physical products get their products from. Yesterday, I saw Adidas Air and Converse dupes. That means like duplicates. I saw these Converse dupes that had 23,000 reviews on Amazon, and they're ridiculous. They're amazing. They were like $29, and I almost went crazy and bought 9 pairs, but then I didn't. I saw these, they look like Nike Airs, gorgeous shoes, and they're only $49. All of these are coming from a store. And I'm going to trigger some of you. But that's good because you need to be triggered. That's how you end up making more money, when you deal with your triggers. Oh, I'm not going to get into a long discussion about this. But if you think China created the virus and was just trying to kill the United States, you are deceived. So one of the largest supply houses is in the Asian countries, and it's Alibaba. Alibaba is an amazing place. You can also go to Alibaba Express.
There are some people who are like, oh my God, you mean you're having products flown in from China? Actually, about 75% of anything you're buying online is being flown in from China. You could have a journal like this printed in America for about $5. So if you wanted to sell it for, I think I paid 19 or 20 something dollars. It's actually a really cool journal. It's got lined pages and stuff like that. You're going to make $15. But if you had something like this made through Alibaba, customized for you, you could probably get it for 97 cents. $4 more profit per journal. Alibaba.com is a great place. I mean, the majority, not the majority, I would probably say 50 to 75% of all the leggings that you see sold right now online that everybody loves and they're amazing, they're getting them through Alibaba. They are being made in either Korea, Hong Kong, China. I would highly recommend you get over any level of racism or judgment about other countries if you want to be successful in business. Alibaba Express is pretty cool because you can go buy one unit at a time. So if you find something on Amazon, I'm trying to think. Okay, I bought these things on Amazon that it's a little tiny shaver and it gets rid of all the peach fuzz that older women tend to have or darker skinned women tend to have. And it gets rid of all this peach fuzz. And I'm trying to think, microblading, right? Is that what it's called? What is it called? Anyways, there's these tiny little razors. You can use them once a week and you can shave your face and makes your makeup look great. It's a great way to get rid of dry skin. Men and women use them. And so if I go on Amazon for $19, I got a package of dermaplaning. Thank you. Microblading's eyebrows. See, you can be as silly as me and make money too. So long story short, I think I paid like $19 for 14 of them. Great price. And I use one once a week and throw it away. So you're not worried about infecting and getting pimples and all kinds of bacteria in your face. Well, you can order them on Alibaba for like $1.17 for a package of 14. And the person who sells these probably orders, what you would do is you'd order like maybe you'd order 500 of them. And you would put them all into priority mail or stuffed animals or what, or animals. I can't believe I said that. Stuffed envelopes. You could actually go on Shopify and print out shipping, or you can just go to USPS and print out your labels. I'm sure you'll figure that out. They give a lot of training on Alibaba. They give a lot of training on USPS.com. They give a ton of training on Shopify. So watch this. Let's say it's costing you, let's say you sell them for $19.99 and you're paying $1.17. For whatever the shipping and supplies or whatever, let's say you're making $15 each. Let's say you sell 100 of those a month. That's $1,500 a month. Some of you could find 2 items on Alibaba that you list on Amazon that you make $500 to $1,000 or $2,000 a month with. The next time you buy something on Amazon, they have those silicone face masks that are super great for anti-aging. They're like 99 cents for a box of 10 on Alibaba, and they're selling for $24 for a box of 10 on Amazon. Alibaba Express lets you order just one. Alibaba puts you in charge with a bunch of vendors. Obviously, look at the reviews. I am not an Alibaba or Alibaba Express expert. If there's anybody in the inner circle who's made multiple 6 figures, I don't want to hear if you made 10 grand. I love you, but you don't have enough experience. Remember what I just got done talking about? But if you've made multiple 6 figures selling a product that came from Alibaba, I want you to email me and let me know. Maybe I'll have you teach something to the inner circle. But Alibaba is a great resource. Amazon actually is now even listing resources. There are a lot of places showing up, even in the United States, that are now competing with the Asian countries in providing. But I'll tell you, I first heard about having all these things printed and stuff like that over in China when I met with Dave Ramsey and his team. When was that? Like 2010. And his, I think it's like Extreme Money Makeover that comes in a beautiful cardboard box, and you get this whole system. I think they have it digital, but some people still want a physical product. They sell for $99. Having that done in the US would cost anywhere from $24 to $29 per unit. And some of you are like, yeah, but that's still great profit. Sure, $70 per unit. Okay, that's awesome. He was paying $1.29. And obviously he bought bulk initially. He said he was paying like $7 or whatever. But that's $95 or maybe $90 once you take off shipping. If he gives free shipping, I don't know. $90 per unit versus $70 per unit. That's $20 more per unit. One of the reasons that people fail miserably in physical products is they do not calculate the amount of profit. One of the reasons people fail miserably in t-shirts and sweatshirts and other clothing is they're like thrilled at $10. No, $10 an item on a physical product, don't do it. You can make that in affiliates. Let somebody else do all the hard work and you just post it on your social media and your website. But if you want to create your own physical product, or you want to partner with somebody who will create it, I mean, there's really, let me put it this way. 7 out of 10, once you buy something from Amazon, that's not an Amazon exclusive product, or you didn't order it from a particular vendor that you know has a big business and they just sell them on Amazon. I'm just talking some of the things we buy on Amazon, and they're coming through a small business owner. That small business owner is getting their supply from Alibaba. Mm-hmm. It is astounding. That's why I think Amazon is a brilliant business model. Because not only did he start, think about this entrepreneur's mind, okay? I'm really going to challenge you to stop judging. $3,000 per share on stock. I'm just like, shouldn't there be a limit? So he started out with books, and then he started out buying companies and selling the stuff on the platform. And then he opened the doors to small business owners. When he opened the doors to small business owners to use his large platform and all the people he's exposed to and all of his customers, you had a ton of small businesses that could now start their businesses for very little money cost, very little cost and overhead, and launch to his people. Then what he did is he started AWS, which is a website and server company. Our websites are on AWS. Brilliant mind, especially since he's already marketing and already hosting a ton of small business owners. And then, like, you know, they've literally created an entire, remember many years ago, like I'm 57. So if you bought name brand, you might be making money. But if you bought off brand, you're probably broke, you know? So stupid. He went and bought and created a whole Amazon brand of products that are phenomenal. And a lot of times that private labeling, that off-brand type business is enormous. When I had my kitchenware business, we had 2 private label products that we did. My kitchenware business grew into my teaching people how to grind the best coffee, how to identify a green bean and what it looks like before it's roasted, and all kinds of crazy, amazing stuff. So you didn't have mold in your coffee and all that. And we also had coconut oil. So I interviewed a ton of roasters around the US and ended up selling coffee with the high-end coffee makers, grinders, burr grinders, all that kind of stuff. Espresso makers, all that, French presses, etc. And we did really, really great. We private labeled coffee beans. And we also private labeled coconut oil, which means that a top company provided it for us and we put a label on it and represented it as ours. You can do that on Alibaba as well. You can also get in touch with people all over the world that you might not find elsewhere. There's also, and I'm not familiar with it, you'll probably want to just go look. There's so many different providers now. Somebody else is probably way better at this than I am, where you find quality manufacturers, suppliers, exporters, etc. A man at the gym has an entire fitness line doing that. He has an entire supplement line doing that, and found the supplier off Alibaba. So
thanks so much again for listening to this podcast episode. And as you have been listening to today's masterclass, I want to invite you to become an Inner Circle member. You can get $70 off our regular price. Our new price is only $27 for a limited time if you go to arealchange.com/inner circle. We'd love to have you there. I host 2 masterclasses every month with a couple-hour sessions. We have live Q&A, over 800 hours of recorded audio and video in our academy. And we have a track record of raising up 6- and 7-figure earners. If you just want to put some more cash into your bank account, you want to pay off your debt, or you're really looking for a great way to change your life, go to arealchange.com/inner circle. And you can get $70 off today. I look forward to seeing you in the group. And until then, have a wonderful day. And don't ever forget who you are.